Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. One-piece string job or two-piece string job? Can you feel the difference? Stay tuned. Coffee sponsor of today is my man Glenn Almadova. He actually just kind of walked in and handed me a large dark roast, so I poured it into my cup. He knows that I drink one dark roast every day, so he had to come in, grab a few things, hooked me up with the coffee, and ran off to the club to play. So here's to you, Glenn. Thank you for the large dark roast today. I appreciate it. If you want to be my coffee sponsor of the day, network is buymeacoffee.com/tennis spin. You want to hook up the channel, super thanks is the way. Link is below. Actually, I haven't drank this yet. Let's see what it is. House blend. Yeah, house blend. Okay. You know how people are wine connoisseurs? Like they can tell the differences and the notes in the wine. I'm not that way in wine, but coffee, I can definitely tell what's what, and I guess the stuff that I like versus the stuff I don't like. That's okay. House blend is just not my forte. No way. Okay? All right. Look at that. I'm rhyming. The tennis rhymer. All right, so here's the thing. I've explained to you in past videos why I string with two-piece stringing. Two-piece means you cut the string in half, or you use two pieces of string and you have 4 knots, okay? I've told you in the past, I know what's gonna happen when I do a two-piece. I'm gonna lose a little bit of tension here and here when I tie it. So we crank it up 5 pounds to make up for it, but we know we're gonna lose about the same amount on both sides. When we do the top, depending on how you do that starting knot, or if you do it the other way with a ending knot, you're going to either gain or lose or be consistent with that first cross. On the last cross, you jack it up 5 and you know you're going to lose a little there. So best case scenario, you're consistent through the top first cross. You're going to be +5 but lose a little here, here, and here. So you know your tension loss could be here like a U. All right? When you do a one-piece string job, meaning you use one piece of string with 2 knots, it's going to be an L-shaped in which you're going to lose tension when you finish the main. Okay? Let's say you finish the main up here and you tie off here. You know you're going to jack that up 5, and you're going to possibly lose a little bit here. When you tie off that last cross, whether it's here or up here, you're going to jack it up 5, lose maybe 5. Your tension loss will be in an L-shaped, like this, or a 7-shaped, wherever it ends. So I prefer to have balance on my string jobs that I know that loss, possible loss, well, loss, pretty much all the time versus loss. Does that make sense? I just kind of want a balanced out loss of tension or where the knots are. And I will know that with having a two-piece string job. Now, I've had plenty of people, regular customers, people on tour when I'm stringing at tournaments, literally say, one piece. One piece. I respect that. That's what they're used to. When I was in Japan, all the shops that I went to, when I was observing, they did one-piece string jobs, which was interesting to me. I should have asked why, but I was like, and I should have asked why. So that's my new excuse to go back so that I can ask those guys, why do you do a one-piece string job? My guess is their answer is that's how I was taught. I was taught that way back in the day, if it ends on the bottom, you do a two-piece string job, okay? Because you don't want to start your cross on the bottom going up. You want it always to come top down. It has something to do with the structure of the frame. You want to put the first tension on the top and then slowly tension it towards the bottom. That's how I was taught by the people who taught me how to string. I think with today's technology that the racket can take it either way. All the guys in Japan were doing it, even though they were going bottom up on the cross. So I actually have Coach Gu's rackets here, and he is a stringer, but he's not a very good stringer. That's why I string his rackets for him. I'm going to do one two-piece and one one-piece. I'm not going to tell him, though, and he probably won't even notice. And I'm going to say, play with both rackets and tell me what you feel. Supposedly, there will be difference because if you go bottom up, you're tensioning bottom and then you're tensioning top. So the loss of tension will be up here at the top a little bit. If you go top down, your loss of tension will be here, which will be not really noticeable with the knot. That's in my mind. But let's see if Coach Gu feels the difference. All right, let's take it over to the Falcon and get stringing. All right, so at the Falcon. So the first one I'm going to do is my normal two-piece string job. As you can see, these are both short. I set it at 57, and I'm literally just going to do one right after the other, okay? So let me get done, and then I'll show you my work. All right? All right, so I'm on to the second racket. As you can see, one-piece stringing. I'm going to have to start from the bottom up, right? Because the first one has to be top down if I cut it in two pieces. So let me continue finishing this, and we'll see you after I'm done. All right, guys, so just finished the one piece one. As you can see, knot here for the main, final cross up there. So what does this tell me? That last one is probably going to be on the slightly looser side because that knot is going to give a little bit even if I jack it up 5. This main right here is going to give up a little bit too, even if I go 5 pounds. So tension loss possible, tension loss possible. So this 7 shape is where I'm kind of iffy about, that I don't quite like. I'm a more balanced guy, so the two-piece string job, there, starting knot up, ending knot there, so that there, loss, that one's going to be okay, or a little loss, definitely a little loss, right? A kind of a balanced loss. But let's see if Gu even notices. All right, see you on the court. All right, so we just got off the court. Goo has actually been playing with both of these for 2 weeks now?
2 weeks.
Okay.
2 weeks.
Now, he actually broke the string on this one already, so I had to restring it.
Yep.
The same method, okay? Now, Goo, can you tell me if you feel a difference between, I numbered it number one and number two, okay? I stenciled both at one time.
I did.
But you broke the string.
I broke one of them.
And then you broke this one. Okay, so tell me, is there a difference in the string jobs? They're the same string, the same tension, done by the same person.
Okay.
Is there, obviously the rackets are matched just for you.
Yes, they
now,
are.
Do you feel a difference in the string jobs?
Minorly, I would say. I mean, if I'm trying to recall, because it's been a while since I've like played with those strings. But if I recall, it was a bit different. It definitely felt different. I felt like I think number one was a little more. It felt, I guess, more looser than usual. I think one of them was heavy on the throat, and it didn't really go all the way through. It was like more of a delayed reaction, while the other one it went all the way through with ease.
So one had the delayed reaction, and
one
two
had
didn't.
delayed. One had delayed. Two was a little more normal.
I see.
Went through a little easier, and it felt easier to swing through. One, I felt like it was delayed, and then all of a sudden when I came through it, and then it slung.
And you said number one had that feeling, right?
I believe so.
So here's number one.
Well, based off what you gave me last week or 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
One was a little different.
I did this one the same way.
Okay.
Okay. So you string rackets too. You don't like to do them, nor have you done them for years since I've arrived.
Yes, correct.
So
there's a reason why I don't string anymore.
Because he sucks at it. So let's look at these, since you are somewhat of a stringer.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at the differences of how they're strung. Can you tell the differences?
I'm looking really close.
Look at the knots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's only one there.
Two,
sorry. And then there is 1, 2, 3. Right?
Four. There should be four.
One,
so two here, one there, and one there.
Yeah,
okay?
so 4, yeah.
You hang on to the 4, which is the number 2. This is the 1, which is the 1 piece, 2 knots.
Yeah, 1 and 2 right there.
And 2. So you described this one as starting here and then moving up in the weight. So what happens in a 1-piece string job, you probably don't remember. I don't know if you've ever done a 1-piece string job.
I don't think so.
So it's one continuous string that goes all the way through. So what happens with this string job is it comes through the bottom and comes up like this.
Okay.
Whereas on a 2-piece string job, it's tied off and then I go top down.
Yeah.
So normally I do that.
Yeah.
But because when I went to Japan, I was looking at all the stringers over there, and I'm like, they're all doing 1 piece. They're all doing bottom up when they end on the bottom. So I'm like, I even asked them, I was like, does everybody do 1 piece bottom up if it ends on the bottom? And they're like, yep. So I thought, would there be a difference if I did your rackets, one with 1 piece, one with 2 piece? I normally do yours with 2 piece.
Yes.
So you noticed the difference?
Yes, I did. That's why I was like kind of weird. I was like, this doesn't seem right.
Okay, so Coach Goo is ultra sensitive about these things.
Yeah.
When I picked up your rackets, I actually didn't notice that much of a difference. The only thing I really felt was that one was looser than this one, just because that one's 2 weeks old and this one's about a week old.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I really felt. So I guess maybe the better you are, the more difference you can feel.
I mean, I think it's just also preference taste, right? So it's like,
yeah, I mean, I remember some pro players would come up to us at Challengers and say,
Yeah.
one piece, 2 knots. And I'm like, okay.
I mean, it could be a personal taste. I don't, like, for me, I'm so used to the 2-piece that it's like second nature at this point, so I could feel a difference.
Right. That's true. If you're used to one way, so I guess if the Japanese guys over at the shops started doing 2-piece top down, maybe they're going to be like, the customers will be like, there's something weird about this.
Yeah. I think it's just like if you've grown up for one side of things, it's going to be, you will notice a difference between the other, right? So
right.
I think it's a personal taste, in my opinion. I mean, do I like it? It took me a while to get used to it. I just wasn't really sure how to feel about it because it was just like literally a different string. I was like, string I know are the same, but I don't feel like it's the same way of stringing it, if that makes sense.
No, totally. So in my theory, if you go bottom up, you start putting pressure here and then
That's what I was
tightening, right?
Yeah, because,
versus the other way.
Because when I was slinging it, when I was swinging it, I was like, wow, it feels really throat heavy in the beginning, and then when it lets go, it just goes all the way to the head, like last second.
Got it.
Instead of like being a 2-piece where it just kind of just momentally moves while the racket's moving.
So that actually makes a little sense, because if I'm doing 1 piece, I tie off here, I'm tightening here. This is going to be tight, right? And then it's going to be probably looser here.
Yeah.
Whereas if I do 2-piece, it's going to be tight, and then loose. I
think that's what I'm used to, because it's like slinging it will be easier for me when it's looser on the at this part.
Right.
Right, because that's where we usually hit it. So.
Right. Got it.
It depends. I think it's just like also at the end of the day, it's just personal taste, right? So.
Yep. So guys, if you want to run this experiment, or if you have experience with this already, let us know in the comments. What do you prefer? 2-piece, 1-piece? What do you normally do and why? Okay. We've just figured out that, with Coach Gu, there is a little difference. Mm-hmm. With me, I'm probably not good enough to know. All right. Coach Gu, thank you for doing this experiment with me.
Of course, all my rackets as usual.
All right. Where can they find you, bud?
You can find me at agu.tennis. I'll also be posting content there as well.
All right. Thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Hey, Coach Chris.
Hey.
You string tennis rackets?
That's right.
We'll make a little extra cash.
Sure.
With the Rec Tennis, you can be the official stringer of your own neighborhood. You can set the distance, you can set the meeting place, and you can set the timing.
So I can string on a street corner?
You can set your own place. It's all at the Rec Tennis, where they put players with stringers and stringers with players. Check them out at directtennis.online. Link is below.